Amici del web, buonasera, ancora una volta, questa sera ospiti qui a Città di Ariano, abbiamo dei personaggi importanti, arrivano dall'estero. Questa sera con Big parleremo a grandi linee di religione e di fede. Questa sera abbiamo il piacere di avere qui con noi amici della Conferenza European University Chaplains, l'ho detta bene, adesso parleremo direttamente con loro e a grandi linee parleremo di fede ma nel senso più ampio della parola. Great welcome to my friends. Loro arrivano da varie parti d'Europa. Cominciamo a salutare Esther Smart from Scotland. Hi, welcome.
Grazie.
Esther Dideren from Netherlands e Nils Rial from Norway. Welcome. Benvenuti.
Yeah.
First of all, prima di tutto, what is the Conference European University Chaplains?
Conference of European University Chaplains is a European organization that tries to bring chaplains, university chaplains from all over Europe together to exchange profession, to be a source of knowledge, to create networks among different universities and to start projects together, work together, be inspired by each other and
Niels.
It is what we call an ecumenical organization. We are all priests or pastors in different churches: Lutheran, Reformed, Roman Catholics, Anglican, Methodist, a bit of everything, and we are working on the same field, working as priests or pastors within the university, with the students, for the students. But our profession is a bit special because we are not really into the church doing the services and funerals and all this that priests are doing, but we are dealing with young people, helping them, guiding them, doing experiences with them in the spiritual area, and we are getting inspiration from each other into our work, how to work, what to work with. At the moment we are really concerned about interreligious dialogue, about we are talking about the same things even though we have different views as Lutherans and Roman Catholics, but we are dealing with each other, working together and getting, as you say, inspiration from each other.
It's a little bit something in between teachers and a guide. You can see guide.
In a way, social workers,
right.
maybe.
Okay.
Very pastoral. We were talking a lot about the needs of this generation with the economic crisis across Europe and how it's changed the anxieties that young people have about education and whether they can afford and whether they'll get employment afterwards. And so these sorts of stresses. So sometimes we're dealing with purely religious, spiritual things, and other times it's just helping people deal with day-to-day life in their universities and within the university structures as well as within the church structure. It's kind of a middle road role. So
it's something between you try to keep different worlds, worlds
together, and helping. Many of us are working with individual conversation with students. Maybe we are some kind of a psychologist or we're helping people to understand themselves, and also making communities, making groups. I mean, today at the universities we have big groups. There are 500 students sitting in one classroom with one teacher, and you get a bit lost. We are offering something else. Guys, the single one students and also small groups to do things together.
All right.
And to help them to look after themselves as well as to understand religion and faith more.
We can say in a way you are more practical.
Yeah.
You try to keep the religion, the faith, in something very high like God, more by the people.
And also, for instance, I have a really strong experience from my university working with Christians. The Muslim students, we have a lot of them in my country, they need a place to pray.
Yeah.
And to be religious within the system. It was not possible for them. They didn't have anything. So they come to the priest, ask him, can you help us?
All right.
So we made a room where it was possible for them to pray and for me to have my masses. So we are using the same room for the Christians and for the Muslims. And that is a beautiful thing, and we have got a lot of experience on that, both in England, the Netherlands, and many places we have good experience in doing this mix.
All right, you help in a real way the people to do something.
Yeah.
If maybe a Muslim, like you said before, they need something, a place for to stay together, you can help them. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, normalmente si vedrà la traduzione e tutto il resto, noi cerchiamo di parlare in questo modo e poi la traduzione la vedrete nel nostro sottopancia tutti quanti insieme. Comunque i nostri amici della Conferenza Europea Università CEUC hanno un duro lavoro da fare, un lavoro molto forte e specialmente in queste zone, cercare di portare la fede più in praticità. How do you find the people in this area? Come avete trovato la gente in quest'area?
They're so warm and so much hospitality and the generosity of food and wine and the kindness, just the effort that people go to give you coffees and to show you, and it's been wonderful. That has been, everybody has said on our whole conference how that has moved us a lot.
That's great. You've been around. You've been you stayed in Ariano, but you've been in Benevento. You've been in Montefalcone. What was the other? Basilice. You try to have a contact with the people. So, how did you find them when you talk about this? About probably the religion.
One of the ideas we had to bring this conference here was also in the title of the conference, something about getting back to our roots.
The roots.
The roots, yeah. And you can talk about that in a spiritual way. Our connection with most of us are original. We used to be Roman Catholics. Maybe it has something to do with that. But also the earth, la terra. That is so important in this area. You see, it's so good. It has been cultivated the same earth for 9,000, even more years, and they are still doing the same as they have always been doing. And in a way, to go back to this way to deal with nature is also the future. As I see it, and now here we can do it. We can actually feel it, and the way we are eating is really into that.
But the way we're people treat us here, you really feel the love and the connection between what they're growing and what they're making and what they're serving.
Yeah, very, very, in some way, very open.
People are definitely very open.
Yeah, probably in the first sight, at the first sight, it's not easy. If you come to someone, I don't know, in Ariano Irpino, I say, I am Niels, I wish I can talk with you. Probably the first sight, the people look at you a little bit in that way.
No, but my experience in this area is that it is possible. I'm a bit lucky, I speak a bit of Italian, and because of that it is easy to communicate, and I have stayed a lot of time in Rome, other places. Here I find it much easier. Maybe people they are living in a conservative way, or they are thinking in the religion they are thinking in a conservative way, but the way I have been met is with openness, the same openness we have seen in this conference. The family that are opening their homes, the hospitality, they always want to give us the best they have, and in one way I see this as something genuine that you can't experience as a tourist in Rome.
Yeah, right.
And you can't if we choose Tuscany or whatever, it would have been quite different. But when we came here to the south, we are able to create a connection also with something smaller than just the big tourist event thing.
I think the big problem we have here how to generate the new enthusiasm to the young people. There is a gap between a father and a grandfather and the young people. It's not easy to find a way to set a young boy, a young girl, 14, 15 years old, try to create something in your hometown. They don't want to. They wanna go away because they need something different. They see a different world. The world is so big. Probably they want to do some different experience, and most of the time our little town here are empty of young people.
But I mean, this is one of the problems that we have today, and we have been talking a bit about it on the conference. People today, they are sitting with their iPhones, they are using their iPads, they are sitting with the computer, they have the music all the time. Communication has changed, and also being together has changed. So, and we want things to be quick, we want things to be it
Faster,
should be
like
now
flash.
just the beauty of the beauty of just existing, as we met really hardly yesterday. It doesn't seem to be a part of the vocabulary of many young people today, and I'm sorry for it.
They're hungry for
Because-
it too.
yeah.
I think that the technology can isolate them a lot.
That is the real problem. I mean, we have to start again to talk, to work together, to switch off probably the telephone, the iPhone, and everything, and try to go to in a field. I don't know, see how the green grass grows. I mean, we are very, very far. We probably go to the Jupiter. We forget we were friends by our.
But we see in some parts of the north of Europe, we see that some young people want to live more green, more close to nature, because they see today we have gone too far with all this technology
change.
thing. So they are moving from cities and out on the countryside.
We do vice versa.
Yes, starting to have small production of goat cheese, berries, picking their own berries and make marmalade that they are selling. I mean, and this is so beautiful to see this as something that actually is making also small communities more alive. And I think this is something that maybe can be the future, not only in the north of Europe but also here in Italy.
Everywhere. It is a conversion.
Yes.
Start to.
And not to see this as going back, but to take what we have and use it in a better way.
Right. Great. È bello, oggi stiamo parlando con i nostri amici di temi fondamentali importanti che esulano direttamente dalla fede, però portano a pensare come le tecnologie, anche le nuove tecnologie, possono portarti un po' e esiliarti dal mondo reale, dal mondo che veramente conosciamo. So, it's great to stay with you today. I had a few days with you. I was really enjoyed. I consider a privilege to spend a few hours together, a few days, 2 or 3 days in a radio station this morning. Last night we had lots of fun. I hope I can see you again, maybe in Ariano. I don't know where. Your next meeting, where it will be?
We'll be in the Netherlands next year.
All right.
Yeah.
Vabbè, quindi saranno in Olanda il prossimo meeting, but maybe you have to come back. You have to come back in Italy. Okay. The last thing you want to say to the people on television? One of you?
You want to say?
Well, thanks for having us here and for the nice approach, the warm welcome. Yeah.
And we wish you can see you again.
We would love to come back to Italy.
I heard one person.
Yeah.
He was after the trip we had yesterday to Basilica and Montefalcone. He said one sentence that touched me a bit. He said, "No, I have seen all the beauty I need to see in my life. I can go home tomorrow and die." That is a beautiful way to express that you like to be here.
Grandissimo, tutto questo ha un segno di bellezza. Oggi abbiamo cercato insieme ai nostri amici che arrivano dalla Norvegia, in questo caso dall'Olanda e dalla Scozia, abbiamo cercato di parlare di fede. Non abbiamo toccato Dio, ma ognuno di noi lo toccherà Dio come meglio vuole, come meglio gli tange, però noi possiamo solo dire grazie ai nostri amici. Thank you so much for to stay with us, and maybe I can see you in our work around the world, around our life. Thank you.
Maybe
Thank
you
you
can
so much.
visit us in our countries.
Thanks a lot.